Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to do a review on the on my 2012 F150 with a 3.5 Ecoboost. You know, there's tons and tons of controversy around these engines. I'm going to go over some of the required maintenance items, stuff you can do to make these engines last, some of the pros and cons of it, and then just do a quick overview of everything. You know, there's a big stigma, and you know, people think these things are, you know, terrible because, you know, it's a direct injected V6 and turbos. That scares a lot of people, but you know, if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. All right, so we're going to start at the very front of the truck. Right here we have the intercooler. This is an air-to-air intercooler. It's not the best for performance, you know, but it's a lot more reliable than a coolant-based one, you know, just for longevity and stuff. You want to make sure it's clean, you know, every time you wash the truck. You know, spray out the intercooler, keep leaves and bugs and all kinds of stuff that get in there clean. You know, do your radiator and your oil cooler. Another thing, I got the cover off, and I got the fuel pump cover off too. The fuel pump for the direct injection is run off the camshaft. That's why it's real noisy. That's why it has kind of that diesel sound. You know, it's because it's running that loud GDI pump. Another thing is oil changes. I only do every 5,000 miles. I know on some of the new Ford spec is, I believe, 10,000. Unfortunately, these engines just run too dang dirty to meet that requirement, in my opinion. You know, you do what you want with your engine, but you know, that's my recommendation, because you know, the turbos are you know, have oil going to them. This has 4 cam phasers, you know, 2 on each bank, 2 for the intake, 2 for the exhaust. And just like any Ford cam phaser engine, you know, they will fail after a certain amount of time, and you can, you know, kind of prolong that from happening by using the correct oil and doing your oil change intervals, you know, sooner. Another thing is spark plugs. These engines love to eat spark plugs. I change those every 50,000 miles. I've seen them ate up real bad. You know, it's a little bit higher compression engine, and you know, it's under boost, so you know, it tends to wear out spark plugs a little bit sooner. Another thing is the fact that it's direct injection. These first gen EcoBoost are strictly only direct injection. So what that means is there's no way to clean the valves or you know, the intake ports down in the head, and they will get carboned up. It happens every single one. Actually had one of these engines out of a truck that one of the piston skirts actually exploded on it, and someone gave me that block to kind of, you know, just tear apart and see if I wanted to rebuild it or not. But one thing I did notice was that engine, I think, had 75,000 miles on it, and the valves were just caked in carbon and oil and all kinds of stuff. One real popular mod on any forced induction engine is a catch can. What a catch can does is that it feeds off, it's a side stream off of your intake, and oil and any kind of stuff like that will drop down in that can, and you know, you can drain it, clean it out periodically. This engine's bone stock. I don't have any modifications to this whatsoever. No exhaust, no tune, no aftermarket air intake, nothing. This is 100% bone stock engine. It's got 166,000 miles on it, and you know, I would love to put a tune on it and all kinds of stuff to make tons of power, but you know, just leaving it how it is. And with the second gen EcoBoost, Ford did a really good job in the second gen EcoBoost was found in, I believe that started in 2016 or 2017 up until now. But what they did is it's still direct injection for power, but they put a conventional port injector strictly for keeping carbon down on the valves and eliminating all those issues. So and they made some other revisions to it that, you know, I don't know off the top of my head right now, but those second gen EcoBoosts are, you know, miles better than these first gens. Not that the first gens are bad, but, you know, everything has issues, and, you know, Ford's done a real good job on correcting those. So fuel economy wise, I'm getting between 18 and a half to 19. It really depends on the age of the oil. You know, when I do a fresh oil change, I'll reset the MPG, and I get around 19. And as the oil breaks down and gets older and dirtier, I'll start losing miles per gallon. I know that's up to debate for people too, but that's what I've experienced with this truck. You know, some old timers will tell you the same thing, that, you know, fuel economy starts going down when oil breaks down, and this kind of proves that to me, because I was at a disbelief for it. But, you know, but you can see the miles. It is 166,000. Everything's original on this truck: transmission, engine, everything, turbos, fuel pump. Nothing's been done to this truck other than maintenance items, spark plugs, air filters, you know, stuff like that, fluid changes. It has a 355 rear end. I've towed a lot with this truck. It pulls really, really good in the tow haul mode Ford has, and then also just the you know, the manual option on this, where you just select the gears, is really good. Really the biggest downfall is it's still a half-ton truck, you know, so you got a semi-floating rear end. You know, you don't have the durability. You know, the axle's not going to like a lot of payload behind it. You know, Ford claims it pulls, I think, 12,000 pounds or something like that. But it's just wreaks havoc on that half-ton axle. Alright, so that about does it on the first gen EcoBoost review. Before I go, my recommendation on oil is a Mobil 1 full synthetic and a Ford Motorcraft filter. The last oil change I did, I tried Mobil 1's new truck blend. It's got better protection against heat breakdown. So far, you know, it was good. I got it because it was on sale. It was cheaper than the regular Mobil 1. So, but probably I'm gonna start using that from now on. Notice the oil's been a little bit cleaner. But anyway, you don't want to use conventional oil in these, because, you know, you have turbos, you got the cam phasers. So always use full synthetic. I believe Ford went away from using a synthetic blend. So when you take it to the dealer, I believe they're putting full synthetic in it. That's why, you know, there's no more 1999 oil changes. And if you do get a 1999 oil change, shame on you, because that's just killing your engine. There's been multiple reports of, you know, those Jiffy Lube and Valvoline and all that, those drive-through places putting the wrong oil in. They're using the cheapest of the cheap. They're using cheap filters. And, you know, when your engine explodes, you're going to blame the manufacturer. And, you know, that's just something you shouldn't cheap out on, is maintenance. Stay away from Fram filters. You know, they have a long track record of failing with their paper baffles and all that. They don't really stand up to higher pressure oil systems and dirty oil. You know, over time, you know, the oil gets dirty and breaks down. Those filters start collapsing, and it's just going to wreak havoc on the engine. All right, quick update on the shop. I sold the tractor a couple weeks ago. Fortunately, didn't get to do any videos on it. The MB, I really haven't done much to it. I still got that back panel off. Just been real busy with everything. We are going to be doing a video on the F-head, show y'all how to measure critical tolerances on that, measure the bores, measure crankshaft journals, crankshaft pins, etc., etc. And just keep plugging away at everything. But alright, until next time, y'all have a good one.